A billionaire's average Tuesday contains 0 meetings about making money. Let that sink in for a moment. While you're grinding through back-to-back Zoom calls about quarterly targets and revenue projections, the wealthiest people on earth are doing something completely different. And what I discovered when I analyzed the daily schedules of 17 billionaires will fundamentally change how you think about building wealth. My name is Marcus Chen, and 3 years ago I was hired as an executive assistant to a tech billionaire in San Francisco. I won't say his name, but his net worth at the time was $4.2 billion. My job was simple: manage his calendar, coordinate his travel, and basically make sure he got where he needed to be. But here's what happened that changed everything for me. After 6 months of working for him, I noticed something bizarre. His calendar looked nothing like what I expected. There were no board meetings about maximizing profits. No strategy sessions about market domination. Instead, his Tuesdays consistently had things like 9 a.m., read for 90 minutes. 11 a.m., walk in Presidio Park. 2 p.m., mentor session with college student. 4 p.m., jiu-jitsu class. I remember the exact moment it clicked. We were in his home office, this massive room overlooking the bay, and I asked him, "Sir, I notice you don't have any meetings scheduled about making money. How do you actually grow your wealth?" He looked up from his book, smiled, and said something I'll never forget. "Marcus, I stopped trading time for money in 2007. My calendar is designed to create time. Money is just a byproduct of time correctly allocated." That conversation sent me down a 3-year rabbit hole. I became obsessed with understanding how the ultra-wealthy structure their time. I started networking with other executive assistants, personal chiefs of staff, and family office managers. I got access to the actual calendars and daily routines of 17 billionaires across tech, real estate, and finance. And what I found was shocking. The ultra-wealthy don't have better investment strategies. They don't work harder. They don't even have better ideas most of the time. What they have is a completely different calendar architecture. And today, I'm going to break down the 5 calendar blocks that separate billionaires from everyone else. Calendar block number 1. The learning block. Every single billionaire I studied had between 60 and 120 minutes of dedicated learning time scheduled every single day. Not when they felt like it. Not squeezed between meetings. Blocked out, non-negotiable, sacred time. Charlie Munger famously said, "I constantly see people rise in life who are not the smartest, sometimes not even the most diligent, but they are learning machines." Here's what shocked me. These billionaires weren't reading business books. They were reading history, psychology, biology, physics. My boss spent his learning block devouring books about Roman military strategy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and forest ecology. When I asked him why, he explained, "Marcus, business is just applied human psychology plus math. If I understand how humans made decisions 2,000 years ago, and I understand compound systems in nature, I can predict market behavior better than someone who just reads the Wall Street Journal." Here's the actionable insight. Most people consume information reactively. You scroll Twitter, you check the news, you read whatever's trending. Billionaires consume information strategically. They're building mental models that will be valuable 10 years from now. Start blocking out 60 minutes every morning before you check email. Read books that teach you how systems work, not just what happened yesterday. Calendar block number 2, the creation block. This one blew my mind. 14 out of 17 billionaires had a 3 to 4 hour block of completely uninterrupted time scheduled for deep work. No phone, no email, no Slack, just them, their thoughts, and whatever they were building. My boss used his creation block to write code, design product features, and think through complex problems. But here's what most people miss. He wasn't working on urgent things during this block. He was working on important things. There's a massive difference. Urgent things are emails, fires to put out, meetings that could have been emails. Important things are building systems, creating assets, developing skills that compound. I watched my boss spend an entire creation block designing a single algorithm that eventually generated $47 million in passive revenue. That's $11,000 per hour for that one session. Most people never experience a true creation block in their entire lives. You're always interrupted, always available, always reactive. The ultra-wealthy are the opposite. They're ruthlessly protective of their creation time because they understand. Wealth is built in uninterrupted hours, not fragmented minutes. Here's your move. Tomorrow, block out 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Turn off your phone. Shut down email. Put a do not disturb sign on your door. Spend those 3 hours building something that will generate value while you sleep. Write a course. Build a product. Design a system. Create an asset. Do this 5 days a week for 1 year, and you'll produce more wealth-generating assets than most people create in a lifetime. Calendar block number 3. The relationship block. This is where it gets interesting. Every billionaire I studied had scheduled time for what they called high-value relationships. Not networking events. Not conferences. Intimate, one-on-one time with specific people who could change their trajectory. My boss had a mentor session every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Same time, every week, for 90 minutes. He'd meet with a 73-year-old former CEO who'd built and sold 3 companies for a combined $800 million. They'd talk about life, business, decision-making. No agenda, just conversation. But here's the key. My boss treated this like a board meeting. He prepared questions in advance. He took detailed notes. He implemented insights immediately. He wasn't casually hanging out. He was deliberately extracting decades of compressed wisdom. Most people think networking is about collecting business cards at events. The ultra-wealthy think networking is about building deep relationships with people 10 years ahead of them, then systematically learning everything they know. One billionaire told me, "I'd rather have 1 hour with the right person than 100 hours at a conference." Your action step. Identify 3 people who are exactly where you want to be in 5 years. Reach out and offer value first. Then ask for 30 minutes quarterly. Treat these conversations like graduate school. Come prepared. Take notes. Implement immediately. One insight from the right person can compress 10 years of trial and error into a single conversation. Calendar block number 4. The health block. This one surprised me the most. Every single billionaire had exercise scheduled as a non-negotiable calendar event. Not squeezing in a workout when they had time. Not hitting the gym if they felt like it. Scheduled, protected, treated like a board meeting. My boss did jujitsu every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Rain, shine, important deal closing, didn't matter. He was on the mat. When I asked why it was so important, he said, "Marcus, my body is the vehicle for my brain. If the vehicle breaks down, nothing else matters. Every dollar I'll ever make flows through this body. It's my most important asset." But here's what most people miss. The ultra-wealthy don't exercise just for health. They exercise for cognitive performance. Physical stress improves decision-making, creativity, and emotional regulation. One study from Harvard found that vigorous exercise increases BDNF, a protein that essentially fertilizes your brain and improves learning by 32%. Think about that. An hour of intense exercise makes you 32% better at learning for the rest of the day. That's not a health choice. That's a wealth choice. Your move. Schedule exercise like you schedule meetings. Same time, every day, non-negotiable. Treat your body like a $10 million asset, because if you build the wealth you're capable of, it will be. Calendar block number 5. The reflection block. This is the secret weapon. 11 out of 17 billionaires had dedicated reflection time scheduled every single day. Usually 15 to 30 minutes at the end of the day where they'd review decisions, journal insights, and plan. The next day, my boss had a reflection ritual every evening at 6 p.m. He'd sit in his office with a notebook and ask himself 3 questions. What did I learn today? What decision did I make that I'm proud of? What would I do differently? He told me, most people repeat the same year 40 times and call it a career. Reflection is how you extract lessons from experience. Without reflection, you're just busy. With reflection, you're learning compoundly. This is why the ultra-wealthy seem to learn faster than everyone else. They're not smarter. They're more deliberate about extracting lessons from every experience. They're running a continuous feedback loop on their own life. Here's your move. Every evening, spend 15 minutes writing answers to those 3 questions. What did I learn today? What decision am I proud of? What would I do differently? Do this for 90 days, and you'll develop a level of self-awareness that most people never achieve. Now, here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. The reason you're not building wealth at the rate you want isn't because you lack capital or connections or intelligence. It's because your calendar is designed wrong. You're spending 80% of your time on reactive tasks that generate 0 long-term value, and 20% on proactive work that builds assets. The ultra-wealthy flip that ratio. I left that job 2 years ago, and I've been applying these calendar blocks to my own life ever since. I blocked out my learning time, my creation time, my relationship time, my health time, and my reflection time. And in 24 months, I went from a $60,000 salary to building 3 income streams generating $32,000 per month. Not because I'm special, but because I redesigned my calendar like a billionaire. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning, don't just jump into your day. Take 30 minutes and redesign your calendar. Block out your learning time. Block out your creation time. Block out your relationship time. Block out your health time. Block out your reflection time. Treat these blocks like non-negotiable board meetings with your future self. Because here's what I learned from studying 17 billionaires. Wealth isn't built in dramatic moments. It's built in disciplined blocks of time, repeated consistently, compounding over years. Your calendar is your life in preview mode. Design it like a billionaire, and you'll build wealth like one too. Now go redesign your calendar. Your future self is counting on you.